Did you know that what you do in the first hour after waking up can determine whether you'll live to 90 or beyond? It may sound shocking, but it's true. Millions of people sabotage their own longevity every single day, even before finishing breakfast. In this video, you'll discover the 7 morning habits that long-living people follow almost without fail, and that most doctors never mention in their appointments. The most surprising part? Habit number 4 takes only 30 seconds. But it can add years to your life. If you care about your future, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if it feels right in your heart, leave a comment at the end. Starting tomorrow, I choose to take care of my morning, because what comes next might change the way you age. Aging well isn't about luck, nor about magic formulas or impossible routines. The world's most respected studies, from Harvard to Japan, reveal something surprisingly simple. People who make it to 90 in good health take care of their morning. It's in the early hours of the day that the body decides how it will respond to the world. That's when it regulates hormones, calms inflammation, protects the brain, and prepares the heart, but only if it receives the right signals. Over the past few years, researchers have identified 7 small morning habits that consistently show up among the longest living populations on the planet. Accessible, realistic habits, yet almost always forgotten in the rush of daily life. These quiet rituals don't demand extreme effort or strict discipline. They simply require presence, and the decision to make your morning a moment of care, not of haste. Now you'll learn the first of them. A gesture that takes just seconds, yet many people ignore it, and it makes all the difference for your blood, brain, and kidneys. Let's begin. Habit 1. The water that saves. During sleep, the body loses water. Even while at rest, it breathes, sweats, and works silently. And upon waking, it enters a state of natural dehydration, almost invisible, but deeply impactful. At this moment, the blood becomes thicker. The heart has to pump harder. The kidneys, already more sensitive with age, are overworked. And the tiny blood vessels in the brain face more pressure. Researchers at Harvard Medical School found that this morning dehydration, when ignored, can accelerate aging by up to 31%. According to nephrologist Dr. Jessica Rothman, during sleep, blood thickens, forcing the heart and damaging delicate structures in the brain and kidneys. It's a silent process, almost imperceptible in the early years. But over time, it wears down the gears of longevity. Sylvia, 72, felt it firsthand. Constant fatigue, fading memory, declining kidney function. Her doctor was considering starting dialysis. But first, she received one simple piece of advice. Drink a full glass of water while still in bed, right after waking up. 2 months later, her kidney function had improved by 28%. Her mind was clearer. Her energy restored. My doctor thought I was taking a new medication, but it was just water. That small change made all the difference. The plan is simple. Before bed, leave a glass of water next to your bed. When you wake up, before your feet touch the floor, drink the entire glass. No rush, no distractions. Pure water, preferably at room temperature. This action takes less than 30 seconds, but it activates circulation, protects the kidneys, hydrates the brain, and regulates blood pressure. It's a silent ritual that many long-living people follow without fail. Ignoring thirst upon waking is ignoring a request from your body. Answering it is an act of deep care. Those who start the day with water start with vitality. Habit 2. The first light signal. Right upon waking, the body looks for direction, and the main signal it expects doesn't come from a clock, but from the natural morning light. This first contact with daylight activates what's called the circadian rhythm, which regulates sleep, hormones, metabolism, and even concentration. When that signal doesn't arrive, the body becomes disoriented. Melatonin production gets disrupted. Nighttime sleep worsens, and the brain ages faster. Researchers at the National Institute on Aging have shown that exposure to natural light within the first 30 minutes after waking increases natural melatonin production at the end of the day by up to 73%. This simple practice improves sleep quality, regulates mood, and protects cognitive function. Dr. Andrew Peterson, a neuroendocrinology expert, explains, morning light triggers a sequence of reactions that directly influence immunity, memory, and brain aging. That's exactly what happened with Benjamin, age 75. For decades, he suffered from chronic insomnia. He tried medications, therapies, and supplements, but only found real improvement when he started doing something simple, eating breakfast on his porch, with his face toward the daylight. Within a few weeks, Benjamin slept better. His blood pressure dropped 15 points, and his afternoon fatigue disappeared. The plan is accessible to everyone. Whenever possible, open a window, sit near natural light for a few minutes, or take a short walk outside. Even on cloudy days, natural outdoor light is up to 100 times brighter than any indoor artificial lighting. For those with limited mobility, just sitting by a window already makes a difference. And in regions with harsh winters, light therapy lamps can help supplement, though they can never fully replace the real effects of sunlight. This simple gesture resets the biological clock. It calms the nervous system, it balances hormones, and it prepares the body to live with greater equilibrium. Starting the day with light is giving the body what it most clearly understands as a sign of life. And longevity begins like this, with clarity, from the moment you wake. Habit 3. Movement that lubricates life. The human body was made to move, and as soon as we wake up it sends clear signals: stiff joints, tight muscles, a slight feeling of heaviness. These signals aren't failures, they're invitations. The period right after waking is a powerful biological window. In it, gentle movement acts like oil for the body's gears. When ignored, that pause can turn into pain, inflammation, and over time, loss of mobility. Studies conducted at the Mayo Clinic show that gentle movement in the early morning hours can reduce joint wear by up to 65% in people over 60. Even more, this movement also activates cellular autophagy, the body's natural cleaning process, essential for longevity. Dr. Lisa Monroe, a geriatric specialist, says, conscious movement early in the morning helps reduce silent inflammation and preserves flexibility into the decades ahead. Harriet, age 68, is a great example. Diagnosed with severe arthritis, she already had knee replacement surgery scheduled. As a last effort, her physical therapist suggested a challenge: do 7 minutes of gentle movement right after waking. The routine was simple: shoulder, ankle, and wrist rotations, light stretching, and deep breathing. In 3 months, her pain decreased drastically. The surgery was cancelled, and Harriet went back to playing with her grandchildren in the garden. This habit doesn't require physical effort, just intention. After drinking your water, before any food or coffee, take 5 to 10 minutes to gently wake up your body. Move your ankles, roll your shoulders, stretch lightly, lean your body forward, swing your arms from side to side. Feel what's stuck and invite it to wake up. This isn't exercise, it's reconnection. It's preparing your joints for another day of life. By repeating this gesture every day, the body understands it's still needed, that there's still a path to follow. And that's how vitality is preserved, through small, conscious, repeated gestures. Habit 4. The breath that calms aging. Right upon waking, the body enters a state of alert. Heart rate rises, cortisol increases, and the nervous system prepares to face the day. It's a natural reaction, but if not softened, this silent stress can accumulate over time. Science has shown that this chronic morning alert state contributes to premature cellular aging, high blood pressure, hormonal imbalance, and even cognitive decline. That's why centenarians in places like Sardinia, Okinawa, and Loma Linda follow a simple yet powerful ritual: breathing with intention. Dr. Michael Cohen, a longevity researcher, studied the habits of over 300 seniors aged 90 and older. They all showed lower levels of inflammation, greater emotional stability, and better cardiovascular function. And the one practice they all had in common: deep, slow breathing in the early hours of the day. Douglas, a 96-year-old pastor, is a living example of this habit. Every morning he stands by the window and takes 4 rhythmic breaths, slowly, with his eyes closed and body present. According to him, this prepares the body for a good day, and medical tests confirm it: high heart rate variability, low stress levels, an active mind. The technique is simple and effective. It's called the 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale through the nose for 4 seconds. Hold the breath for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through the mouth for 8 seconds. Repeat 3 to 4 times. This sequence activates the vagus nerve, which helps regulate emotions, heart rate, and digestion. In less than a minute, the body switches from fight or flight mode to healing and regeneration mode. It's not meditation. It's not mysticism. It's applied physiology. It's the kind of gesture that costs nothing, but preserves everything that matters. Those who breathe consciously early in the morning age with more calm, clarity, and stability. And the tests show it. Habit 5. The smart breakfast. The first meal of the day has a much greater impact than most realize. Not just on immediate energy, but on inflammation levels, hormones, and even the pace of cellular aging. Recent studies in geriatric nutrition show that breakfast composition can influence insulin sensitivity, chronic inflammation, and cognitive function over time. Long-lived populations like those in Okinawa and Ikaria follow a simple nutritional pattern: protein, fiber, and healthy fat in the early hours of the morning. Dr. Valerie Richardson, a specialist in aging nutrition, explains, "The way you eat in the first 2 hours of the day determines how your body will handle sugar, fat, and hormones for the rest of the 24 hours. At age 68, Gerald was diagnosed with prediabetes, even though he was at a normal weight. His tests also showed a progressive increase in inflammatory markers. Instead of starting medication, he chose a simple change: adjusting his breakfast. He swapped white bread and sweetened coffee for a meal rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fats. Eggs, Greek yogurt, berries, chia seeds, and a drizzle of olive oil became part of his mornings. 6 months later, his lab results were back to normal. The only thing I changed was what I put on my plate first thing in the morning. The formula isn't complicated. Just combine a source of protein, eggs, plain yogurt, tofu, or a plant-based shake. A source of fiber, oats, berries, chia, flaxseed, or leafy greens. A healthy fat, avocado, nuts, olive oil. And avoid, whenever possible, sugars, white bread, cookies, and refined cereals, especially before 10 a.m. This habit doesn't require extra time. You're going to eat anyway. The difference lies in the choice and the intention. Inflammatory foods accelerate aging. The right foods preserve you. A well-balanced breakfast isn't just nutrition. It's a daily investment in longevity. Habit 6. Morning connection. Few people talk about this, but isolation early in the morning can affect the body just as much as poor diet or lack of physical activity. Long-term studies, like the famous Harvard study on longevity, show that the quality of human connections is directly tied to physical health, immunity, and longevity. But it's not just about being around people. The timing of the connection also matters. Social interactions before 10 a.m. have a much stronger emotional and physiological impact. They activate neurotransmitters that reduce stress, balance the nervous system, and strengthen the heart. Dr. Robert Miller, who led one phase of the study, found that people with a morning connection ritual, no matter how simple, had 29% lower all-cause mortality over 20 years. This pattern was also found in long-lived communities like Okinawa. There, neighbors meet early in the day before doing anything else. Some exchange a few quick words, others just share a look. But that gesture builds bonds, and bonds build health. Nancy, an American researcher who lived 6 months in one of these communities, reported something curious. A 97-year-old woman said, "If I don't talk to someone in the morning, my body feels it. It's like something is missing in my system." And that makes sense. Loneliness releases cortisol. Connection releases oxytocin, serotonin, and aligns the body for balance. You don't need a conversation circle or a big support network. It could be a quick phone call, a few words with someone who lives in the same house, a genuine good morning to the doorman, the baker, or the cashier. And if you live alone, even scheduling a weekly morning chat with someone you care about helps. Even once a week makes a difference. It's about reminding your body every single day, you belong, you are safe, you are not alone. This kind of gesture can't be timed with a stopwatch, but the body feels it, and it thanks you. Habit 7. Directed gratitude. Most people have heard that it's good to be grateful, but science has gone beyond the generic phrase. Neuroscience studies have shown that intentional gratitude, practiced in the early morning hours, can physically restructure the brain. This isn't a figure of speech. It's measurable. Yale University conducted research using fMRI scans in older adults, and the results were impressive. Participants who practiced directed gratitude right after waking showed a 23% reduction in cortisol levels, the stress hormone. They also showed strong activation of the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for decision-making, memory, and emotional balance. The practice was simple, giving specific thanks for 3 parts of the body. Patricia, 74, joined the study with a history of hypertension, resistant to medication. After 3 months of daily gratitude, focused on her own body, her blood pressure stabilized, and her heart rate variability improved by 31%. My cardiologist asked me what new medication I was taking. I replied, "I just changed what I think when I wake up." The step-by-step is light but powerful. Sit quietly for 1 minute. Place your hand over your chest. Name 3 parts of your body you're grateful for, and say why. Example, I'm grateful for my eyes, which still let me see the people I love. I'm grateful for my hands, which serve me every day. I'm grateful for my heart, which has been beating for so many years without rest. This specificity is what activates the positive nervous system. It's not magical thinking. It's physiology applied to emotion. It's like giving your body an internal bath of safety, comfort, and trust. A bath that influences the immune system, mood, and the process of cellular regeneration. Centenarians around the world have already been doing this, even without knowing the name. Now, you know the name and the impact, and you can start tomorrow morning before any distractions, because the way you talk to your body changes the way it takes care of you. Now you know the 7 most powerful morning habits identified by longevity science. Simple, accessible habits, yet deeply transformative. They don't ask for money or youth. They ask for attention, repetition, presence. This isn't about seeking perfection. Most people who reached 90 with health and clarity didn't start with all the habits at once. They started with 1, then another, and little by little, the body began to respond. Walter started at 65, after watching his friends get sick. Today, at 93, he drives his own car and tends to a flower garden he planted himself. Patricia simply changed her breathing and how she practiced gratitude, and her blood pressure stabilized. These stories are not exceptions. They are invitations. You don't need to wait for a diagnosis, or for the new year, or for a better phase. The most powerful moment to take care of yourself is the first hour of the morning. It's in that quiet window that the body listens to what you communicate, through gestures, thoughts, and choices. And each morning, a new chance to change the course of your health presents itself. No noise, no urgency, but with depth. The question now isn't, does it work? Because science and real-life examples have already shown that it does. The question is, which of these habits will be your first tomorrow morning? You don't need to change everything at once, but you can choose not to stay the same. You can turn your morning into a ritual of vitality, and your routine into a path back to clarity, energy, and presence. If this video touched something in you, like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want, leave a comment below. I choose to live with awareness. That simple sentence could be the beginning of something much bigger. Share this video with someone you love. It might be exactly what they need to change their relationship with their body and with the time they still have ahead.